Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal bringing you another podcast. We are on the 47th edition of the Mr. Informal podcast. This is Mr. Informal talking, just in case you don't know. If you don't know, now you know. We are on the 47. Yes, 47. Wow. Can't believe it's been the 47th. Anyways, these are the topics for today. Augmented reality in fashion retail. It's going to be interesting. Using social media for reservations. Yes, we are on to that point now. Apple developing their own screen for their mobile devices. That's going to be interesting. And last but not least, L'Oreal buys Modiface, a tech, no, I shouldn't say tech, it's an app to basically make you look good. So those are for the 4 topics for today. This is going to be interesting, and I hope we learn something as I talk about it, because it's going to be it's basically a combination of fashion, beauty, and tech. And so, let's begin the Mr. Informal 47th podcast. So, in recent news, Zara is launching a limited edition augmented reality app in its stores. So, it's only going to be 2 weeks. Customers who have the Zara app under Android, iOS, whatever, or wherever it's available, can hold their phone up in the store, basically inside the store, and it's going to be using the camera, and they're going to see models walk around the store wearing Zara clothes, and you could also see how they're wearing it, how it looks on the body, and you can click through and buy it. So basically the app will also let customer hover over a package that was ordered online and see visuals. Not only that, Converse, Topshop, Uniqlo, I'm guessing H&M too probably, all have it. So it seems like it's gonna be a trend for augmented reality. I'm not even sure if it should be called augmented reality, to be honest, but whatever. It reminds me of the Nokia app, or when they were doing, Nokia used to have this phone where, or maybe an app where you use the camera and you look at outside and it will show you certain certain parts, or maybe certain stores. It's also just like a Pokemon Go. You use your camera, you see you point it at some environment and you see a Pokemon, and that's basically it. So how does this benefit the customer? That's the bottom line. I'm not entirely sure if it really benefits the customer. I can only see how it benefits the customer when they see how the clothes fit. But then again, when you're inside the store, you're basically going to wear it and you're gonna see walk by it. So it's almost like Zara and everybody else is providing a runway or a fashion show inside their store to make it, to entertain their customers, which, you know what, that's actually pretty good. It's part of the retail experience, you might say. And nowadays that's quite important. It's because you don't want to just come to the store and see clothes. I mean, obviously there has to be certain parts of an experience while you're going there. It's not just the clothes, obviously. I mean, even though that's where you're there for. But I guess people nowadays want to be entertained. They want to have that feeling that it's just more than shopping alone too. And brands are doing this for brand awareness, also brand loyalty too. They're also showing to the customer, hey, it's not also that we sell clothes, but we also do this, so you can interact, you can have some type of involvement. Not only that, you can be entertained while you're there. For the fellas who have significant others, this might be pretty good. I'm not entirely sure if you're into it, but if you want some entertainment, obviously you can use the Zara app for that. And as for me, well, I don't really go to Zara much. I mean, I only go there when I'm in the mall or it just happens to be there, and I tell myself, you know what, I'm gonna go check it out. And would I ever download Zara? No, I would not. Why? Because they probably collecting all my data and selling it to somebody else that I do not know about. But in any case, this app is basically gonna be provided in all of 120 Zara stores worldwide, beginning of April 18. Yes, April 18. So that's gonna be interesting. So what's today? So that's March, and it's gonna be a month off around there. It's gonna be a month off. So if it just so happens I'll be at Zara, you know, it might be interesting in there. So Foot Locker, Supreme, Adidas, Nike, basically all of them have doing this using social media for reservation, to reserve your kicks, your sneakers, your shoes, an item, whatever it may be. Especially the Yeezys. Apparently you can only reserve them, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you want to call it. And honestly, I don't think it's solving the problem. There's still going to be bots. If you really want to solve this problem, why don't you just, I don't know, maybe have a line or something? I mean, wouldn't that be better? I know people want to try to avoid the violence and also long wait lines, but that's the only time you're gonna get rid of bots. Now, by using social media, I mean, social media gets hacked, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. People say their social media got hacked, and maybe that's why their reservation has been taken away. Now, don't get me wrong, I think this is a great idea. I just think it's a 50-50 though, and I don't agree with it. Now, using Twitter as a reservation, hey, this is my Twitter, how else are you gonna prove it? Are you gonna prove it because of DMs, private messages, and all that? I'm not entirely sure. So, don't get me wrong, I think this is a great way to solve a temporary problem. I don't think it's solving the bigger issue here. And if a lot of these brands, I know for a fact that they are trying to keep up with the hype, or maybe build the hype by releasing limited edition items. And if you do that, obviously there's gonna be mayhem happening. Same thing with Supremes. I know they're trying to do online reservation nowadays, and again, it's not solving the bigger issue, but I do appreciate that they're trying to solve the issue. I just think that it should have been done much earlier, and people nowadays don't want to be in line for so many hours because it's just wasting time. For me personally, I would never wait that long unless this thing has something that I wanted. Obviously, me, Black Friday, I used to wait overnight, you know, just to get the best deals. But that was back then. Nowadays, you can use your social media, but to me, this is not solving the bigger issue here. What I want for a lot of these brands to do is that if you're gonna create something for the hype, one is that why don't you just do a lineup and have it properly organized that way, that hey, we can only take this many people at a given amount of time, and then at the same time you also have security guards on the back end making sure that the lines are correct, they're also properly organized. But a lot of these brands are not willing to do that because they think that's too much work. But then again, you're also doing too much work by adding social media. You think everything's digital. Obviously, think about it, thousands and thousands of people, and then you only have 100 pieces. It's gonna be the same thing. You just gotta put in work. So in a big news, Apple is developing and building its own screens. It's going to the micro LED. Now, micro LED was announced by Samsung in this year CES Consumer Electronics Show 2018. Basically, it's gonna have all the benefits of OLED except the burn-in. Yep, the micro LEDs will not have the burn-in, but I think OLED are still energy efficient compared to LEDs. So, Apple is basically designing and producing its own device display for the first time. It's in a secret manufacturing facility in California. Not only that, they're also making a small batches for testing purposes, and also experiments too. So let's say that these micro LEDs, basically they're still LED. It's just that the light is much smaller, and we're probably gonna see this in the next 5 years. It's gonna be in TVs, it's gonna be in tablets, it's gonna be in our phones, it's gonna be in other electronic devices with screens on it. So it's pretty obvious that Apple did not want to go through Samsung to buy their OLED in their iPhone 10. Even though they have calibrated and they have collaborated with Samsung on it. But you can tell that Apple is not happy about it, because that's their competition, right? I mean, that's their competitor. So, but by producing their own screen, they could basically control the pricing, they could also control the quality, they could also control the technology however they want without going through a third party or a partnership. Now, what does this mean in terms of devices cost? Well, it should be cheaper, right? But no, it won't be, because as usual, Apple is going to increase the price every year, and LED is not new technology, so that should not raise up the price. So there's really nothing much that the consumer is benefiting from this. Apple is only benefiting from this because they will have an in-house screen facility to make their phones much better in terms of having everything in-house, designed in-house. But again, it's not benefiting the consumer because prices is not going down. Prices will never go down. Obviously, you have sales here and there, but that does not really matter in terms of profits, because Apple's profits are still rising, and by doing this, they're just taking out one of their partners, whether it be Samsung or even LG, doesn't matter. And by building their own, because they have a lot of cash, it's basically making sure everything is in-house, integrated in-house. And would micro LED be the future? Well, it seems like it, because OLED always seems to have a burn-in issue, image retention issue. And by moving to micro LED, it won't have that issue. So not only that, brightness could even be better. Now, Samsung is also developing this. Now, does that mean that Samsung is gonna go to the micro LED? Well, no one really knows. I don't know. One thing's for sure is that Samsung has mastered and matured the OLED screens or AMOLED screens, and we'll see what the screen tech will do in the future, because by doing this, everyone seems to be on alert that, hey, Apple is doing their own screen now, we gotta make things are better. I really don't understand why things work that way. I think it should be that if you're a company that's technology in the industry of technology, you should be much more motivated than that. Don't wait for Apple or other big conglomerates to get into that space. So, L'Oreal buys a beauty tech firm called Modiface, basically a French-based company. No, I'm sorry, not a French-based, but a Canadian beauty tech company Basically, it's an app on your phone to show you what cosmetic will look like on your face. So, basically, the company was founded in 2006 and has been creating apps for mobile devices in terms of beauties and makeup. Not only that, has 70 employees, and L'Oreal will acquire 100% of it. So they did this to create their digital footprint presence much bigger, and also to show that they're not just a shampoo brand or any type of a hygiene brand, but they're also trying to create a digital presence in the world. So it seems like a lot of these beauty companies are buying a lot of the beauty tech firms, and they matches very well. A beauty company buying a beauty tech firm. Now, this will become the trend in the future. Not only that, a lot of these beauty tech companies are also creating money from it by being acquired. Obviously, it's not cheap when you are acquired by a certain company, especially a big conglomerate just like L'Oreal. Not only that, I don't understand why L'Oreal needs a tech firm to do this. Why not just create your own in-house tech firm? Why do you need to buy it? But they don't see that way. I think they think it's too much of a hard work, so instead they decided to buy one. So in the bigger picture, this is only one move, but in the bigger scheme of things, a lot of these beauty companies will buy and must buy a lot, these beauty apps or even beauty websites, websites about beauty, to basically show that they have a big digital presence, obviously traffic, visitors. Not only that, it shows that to show the customers that they have this going on with them. It creates a culture-based community, a web-based community, even an app community. And not only that, there are so many potential by doing this. When you do this, and let's say L'Oreal, I'm not sure if they do because I haven't done much research. Let's say L'Oreal have their own beauty company. They can integrate their beauty or makeup company to that app and make it on their own. So by doing that, they're also showing that customer, hey, if you use this is what this lipstick will look like on your face. That's what basically they're saying. So it's a lot of tools, and it's all about digital experience to the consumers. And when you're doing this, it also creates a foundation for the consumers to know that this is your product, and if this is how it looks like, you can go to the store and buy your products. So it is interesting. This is a great money potential for L'Oreal. Not only that, we all know that Amazon has a big digital presence. By doing these, a lot of beauty brands will also have a big push in their digital footprint. And if you're a small tech app maker and you're into the makeup business in apps, this could be the time. Meaning, if you have an app that's for beauty or makeup and somebody buys it, hey, you could actually get rich off of it. And so that concludes the Mr. Informal 47th podcast. I hope you enjoy yourself today and learn something talking about all 4 topics. Obviously, I did. And if you have any comments below, let me know down in the comments below. And if you have an opinion, let me know down too. And so I will see you in the next Mr. Informal podcast. Bye-bye.